Hey guys, this is Dean. Just gonna do a quick video on the health auras for tokens in Roll20. Something that I've found not too long ago in one of my D&D games, and have been using it ever since. I've had a few of my players ask me about the auras who are running their own games, so figured I'd just make this video, make it a little bit easier instead of me trying to explain it a million times. Just make the video and say, hey, watch the video. So yeah. So as you can see, these are my player tokens from my Mass Effect game that I'm running on Saturday nights. And so right now, you can see, they've all got their own little health aura. You see the health bar up here. From the player perspective, you will not see the health bar. So if I switch over to player, see the health bar goes away, and it's just the auras. So your players will only see the auras. They won't actually see the health bars up top, which personally I like. Because it kind of takes away some of that video game feel to the token, in the sense that instead of them knowing he has 25% of his health remaining, they basically just see, oh crap, that guy's wounded. Because as you update the tokens, let me switch back over to the GM, the aura will change colors. So kind of like yellow for lightly wounded, orange for heavily wounded, red for dead, that kind of thing. So for instance, I've got Ken here. He's got 11 total HP, so let's say we attack him and he takes 4 damage. Okay, so you can see the health bar has kind of dropped down to kind of a yellowish green. Let's say he takes 2 more damage on the next hit. We've got kind of a more yellow color here. He's going to take 3 damage on the next hit. Okay, see, so now it's got that kind of orangish red tint, and then we kill him off. It'll automatically throw the X over the token, which is nice, and it completely gets rid of the aura. So they have absolutely no health left, and then they get the red X to indicate that they are currently incapacitated or dead, depending on what system you're using. Another thing that I like about it, does a little animation, so you noticed every time he took damage, there's a little like blood splatter everywhere. The same thing happens when you heal someone. So let's say we put him back up to full health. Oh, wrong way, Dean. We just gave him negative hit points. So we put him back up to full health, and the little green like healing aura pops up and heals him. A little healing mist there. And puts him back up to full health. He gets his green aura back, and all is well with the world. So I like it because it allows you to see when people are taking damage, and hey, this guy's kind of hurt. You can see kind of lightly wounded, heavily wounded, based on the color of the aura at that time, which I think is a little more quote unquote realistic. As compared to just saying, okay, that guy has 25 hit points left, or 25% of his hit points left. He's wounded, but you have no idea how wounded actually is, which is kind of cool. It's kind of the same concept. You see, Bruce Willis at the end of Die Hard coming out of the building, and he's covered in blood and limping and whatever, but somehow he's still a badass, right? It's the same kind of concept. Like let's say you're fighting a token, or fighting an NPC, and their token has an orange aura about it, but he still has 3 times as many hit points as you do, because he just had that much to begin with. You know what I mean? So it's kind of, he's definitely wounded, you've definitely done some damage to him, but it's not like okay, well, he has exactly this much hit points left, we need to do this, this, and this to kill him. So you have to do more role-playing, like strategic combat through role-playing, as opposed to just out of character saying, okay, well, we only need to do this much more damage, so let's throw this at him. um, which I like. Definitely encourages more roleplay. So anyway, so that's what the tokens look like when you've got the health auras, and then that's kind of how the health aura works. So you update the health, and it changes colors and does a little animation for you. So the way that we set that up, first you need to make sure that you've got the API. So I'm going to bring up another Roll20 browser here. And we'll go to my game. So it's my Mass Effect game. We're going to go to Settings. We're going to go to API Scripts. And under the Roll20 API Script library, you want to find the script called aura/tint health colors. And it's under the Tokens tab. So if you come down here to Tokens, it'll be in here. I've already got it, so it's not showing up on the list for me. We can fix that. Let me delete. Bye-bye. Alright, and then we're going to come down here to Tokens and Aura Tint Health Colors right there. So we'll add script and saved and spinning up the new sandbox and blah 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 blah. Cool. Woohoo! Alright, so that's done. So then we go back to the game and we're all, yeah, we're cool, we got API. And then we refresh. Yeah, cool, man. Alright. So then, we're going to take a look at actually attaching the token to a character sheet and making it so that it updates for us. So, first we need a character. So we've got a random character sheet here with the wonderful Roll20 name generating. So we've got Okri Groj Tritackle. Is this guy's name, which is amazing. So we're going to come in here, we're just going to set the character up, so I'm not even going to try, so I'm just going to put Okra, because that's easier. Okra is, well, he's a vegetable. His class is badass. His level is eternal. His homeworld is Okra. His homeworld's the garden. That's where Okra comes from. His background, let's see, is awesome. And his training, well, training is for sissies, as we all know. And he's part of the Red faction. Because why not? So, Okra is going to have 100 hit points. And we're just going to give him 5 AC just because. And cool. So now Okra's got some stats going on. The only stats that matter for this particular video. So, now that we've got his character sheet, we need a token for Okra. So, what kind of token do we want to use for Okra? Let's give him... I'll use one of my D&D tokens so it doesn't interfere. We'll give him Rin, or the Ettercap. I love the Ettercap. Alright, you know what? Let's do it. So this is Okra. Alright, so I've got my Okra token here. So we're going to go into the little cogwheel. So just whenever you click on the token, you get the little cogwheel. Click on that, brings up the settings. First we're going to go to Represents Character. And we're going to find Okra. He's right there. And I always do show name, just so that players can see the name. Now, if it's like a major NPC that they haven't met yet, I won't do it. But if it's just like Orc, right? Just like Orc 1, Orc 2, whatever, I'll just put Orc in there. I'll go ahead and let them see the name, just because it just makes it easier. And it's going to pop up in the turntable anyway. So whenever we pull up initiative and start tracking initiative, it's going to show up there anyway. So who cares? So anyway, so we're going to come over here. We're going to make the green bar HP, which is something that I've always done anyway, just because green bar is health bar. But for the sake of the API is actually built around the green bar being your health. So in order for the API to work and for the health bar to actually show up, you have to put the health in the green bar. And then I always just put the AC in the red bar just because I like having it there. It's just easy to keep up with who has what HP, or I mean, with who has what AC. And yeah, so you can see that the little aura has popped up around the token. Since it's not a round token, it kind of looks funny. Which, I mean, we can fix here. We'll just use this guy. Let's get rid of you. Alright, so we save the changes, get rid of that. So we save changes, and now this guy is representing Okra. Okay, he's got his 100 hit points, he's got his 5 AC. Sweet. Now, there's two ways to do this. There's one way for a player character and one way for NPC. So we'll do the player character first. So let's pretend that Okra is one of my players. So now that I've got my Okra's token set up and I've got it attached to his HP and everything, we're just going to go over to his character sheet, we're going to hit edit, we're going to use the selected token, okay, and then we're going to save changes. Alright, so now I've got Okra saved to this character sheet. Anything I do to the token is going to update on the character sheet. So you see he dropped down to 50 there, he dropped down to 50 up here. Likewise, anything I do to the character sheet is going to update on the token itself. And it's always going to be that way. If let's say this guy takes 50 damage, and then we move to a different map. So let's say we are here, and we're like, you know what? Alright, cool. You took 50 damage in that fight, but now we are, I don't know, in this warehouse over here. Alright, so we're in this little warehouse, and now it's time to bring you back. Alright, so I'm going to drag your token back over here, and there's your token with the 50 hit points missing. So it's going to save that no matter what map you move to, so you don't have to sit there and like make 50 of the same token and just put one on every map that you make. You just, hey, we're moving to a new map, you just drag it over, drop it, and it's right there, updated as is. You know, and then let's say on this map, so we come over here, we're on this map, let's say we heal the 50 hit points. Cool, well then we want to go back to the other map. Alright, so we're venturing back across the world. We go back to the other map. Well, now on this map, check it out. You got your full hit points again, because it's going to update on every token associated with that character. Anything, you know, anytime anything changes, it's going to update for every token, so that you don't have to you don't have to sit there and keep copying and pasting tokens from map to map. You just pull it off and drag it, and it updates for you. Now, for player characters, that's awesome, because player characters are only ever going to use that one token, and there's only ever going to be one of that character. For NPCs, let's say it's just a generic guard. Let's say Okra is just he's a mercenary, right? And then there's a whole group of mercenaries. The party's going to be fighting, say, 10 mercenaries, right? So this next encounter, they're going up against 10 Okras. So what we're going to do for that, because obviously I don't want to have to, you know, I drag 10 Okras onto the map. You know, I'm not going to pull 10. You know, but let's say they attack one, he takes 50 hit points. Well, suddenly all of them have lost 50 hit points because they're all associated with that same token. So what we're going to do is we're going to fix that. So we're going to make it so that whenever I edit one, it only edits that one. It's going to use the same token, and we're just going to pull multiples of that same token onto the map, but it's only going to edit, like, each individual token will be its own token. It's not going to be a mirror of the original token. So we're going to pull up the settings for the token here. Alright, so where it says HP and AC, where we set it for HP and AC, we're just going to go up to none. And we're just going to change that under both settings for none. We're going to save. We're going to remove the token. Make sure everything... Alright, so we've got none. Make sure that we've still got the fields filled out, though. So it still shows 100 hit points, and it still shows that they have 5 AC. And we'll leave the name there. It's whatever. And you want to make sure it still represents that character. So we're still representing Okra. We're still showing Okra's name. We still have Okra's hit points and Okra's AC. We're just on the drop-down menus. We're just changing everything to none. We're going to save the changes. Now we're going to use that selected token. So now, get rid of these guys. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright, so now, whenever I drag Okra onto the map, let's say we're fighting a bunch of Okras here. Alright, and this Okra takes some damage. He's the only one that takes it. Now I can drag as many Okras as I want to, right? We can make a whole army of Okra. Right? But this way, when the players are fighting the NPCs, I can update each individual NPC token, and it only affects that one token, as opposed to my player character tokens, where every token is a mirror of the original. It makes life a whole lot easier. It also kind of cleans things up for you. Whoops. Also kind of cleans things up for you, because at that point, like I said, you're not having to, because originally, before I figured out that little trick, which actually one of my players showed me, before I found that out, right, I had this, my token screen here, and I would literally make, like, for every time I made a map, I had to create a new token, and then copy that token, and then paste it onto the new map, and then whenever they went to that map, you had to go in, we had to edit the hit points. Alright, well, this is how many hit points he has now, cool, right? Pain in the butt. Nobody likes having to do that. So this way, you make the token one time. If it's a player character, you set everything up, you just leave it as it is, and every time they update their sheet, it'll update the token for you. And it'll update every copy of that token. For the NPCs, you set everything up just like you would the player character, except once it's saved, you go back into it and change the drop-downs to none. Once the drop-downs are changed, you save it again, and then use the selected token on the character sheet. And then that way, it'll use that token, it'll always bring that token over with that set amount of hit points and that AC. It won't randomize hit points or anything for you, so I mean, they're always going to have 100 hit points. Now at any point you can go in and change that, and then just, resave the token with the new hit points. But ultimately with your NPCs, unless it's a named NPC, like I said, with your normal, just regular NPCs, it's not really going to be a problem. Because, the guard is always going to be the guard. You're not going to, like, I'll have multiple guards. Like, I've got elite guard, common guard, I've got the, soldiers, infiltrators, whatever. And then I've got my named NPCs up here. These guys I save just like player characters, because there's only one of them. So I'm never going to be dragging multiples onto the map. And if I ever change maps with them, they're going to carry whatever their current HP is. It's not going to be a whole new named character. So I save them just like I would the player characters. But the random guys, like the guards and the soldiers and all of that, those are all just like these guys. You just make it, you delete the none under the drop down, and then I can drag as many of them I want to on the map and update them individually without them affecting the others. So that is how I do the tokens. It's how I do the auras. Delete that. And yeah. So hope that was helpful. If not, just say, Dean, you're a moron. Redo it, and I'll try to clean it up for you. All right. Thank you. Bye bye.